Okay, so I guess there's a couple of basics that I didn't cover that I should have covered in my last video, and I kind of want to cover them now. So I figure I'll just do another like kind of a basics to modding a Astrox Imperium video. So you're gonna go ahead and go to wherever you installed your copy of Astrox Imperium, which for me is in this D drive, but for you, probably in your C drive or probably another drive, whichever drive is your drive. Anyway, go into your Steam app, Steam library, Steam app commons, your Astrox Imperium, and your Imperium underscore data folder. That's gonna be the main mod. In my previous video, I thought I covered it, but I didn't actually cover it. I just imagined I did. So here we are, the Astrox, the mod folder. This is the bacon right here. So there's a couple of basic modding things you can do that are really easy, but before we get to that, we're gonna go ahead and back up our folder, right? You want to, before you mod anything, and this is kind of commonplace with most games you can mod, is you just back up the original files. I've already done this previously because I've been modding for a while. That's my original game files here, and I downloaded these clean editions that were on Nexus Mod. But yeah, you also, but if you have save files you want to keep, you want to have a place that you back up your mods. You know your where you can keep your save files and your current game ships and stuff that you're messing. If you don't, there's a way you can have your game register which folder to load, and that is your mod underscore config text file. And you just basically, so you can have multiple mod folders here, and you can have it redirect to that mod folder, and so that's a way you can do it. It's still kind of a newer function, and it's still a little bit under working, like in progress a little bit, but it works pretty good so far. There's a few bugs I've come across with it, so we're gonna go ahead and just do the backup so that we can kind of have a mod folder we can just mess around with. That's what I like. I just like messing around with this. And sorry. But yeah. So for starters, we're gonna go into the saves folder, and there's a couple things that are cool you can mod here, like your new player options. That's a really sweet little modding you can do. It kind of lets you mod different settings that you want to have happen when you create a new pilot. Because usually when you make a new pilot, you go in and adjust your settings, and you like go in and you do it and you make it play how you like. But to avoid all that, you can kind of do it beforehand in the new player options.txt file. So there's a whole bunch of settings here. Some of these are pretty okay to mess with. Some of these I've had break my game, so I haven't really tried to mess with too many of these settings. But some of these are pretty simple and easy to mess with, like these key options. They're just your hotkeys, you know. You want to have your afterburner toggle something different than caps lock, you can just type it in here. You know, I like to have it on my mouse button, I suppose. 3, 4, one of these buttons. I also like to, you know, maybe have some tactical view on my mouse. That's a tactical overlay, yeah. That's fine. I like that. A couple other things that bug me sometimes is some of these pop-up stuff. you know. I'm not gonna go through all these settings. I just gotta go through a couple of these, like some of these, like, you know, beginner like tutorial stuff, like warning messages and stuff like that, and, like information stuff that is kind of dandy when you start, but not so helpful after you have acquired that knowledge. You can go ahead and turn those off. Go ahead and save that. Right, anyways, yeah. Enough about that. That's one of the good mods you can do. New player data, your starting stats, you can adjust the starting stats. This is not very as useful, just because you can kind of do that in the sandbox when you make a sandbox mode anyway. Those are those. Special items database. That's where your rares go. Yeah, and each player has one. Yeah, or each save file, I suppose. Pilot. Okay, yeah, but yeah, we can go into the actual save afterwards, and here you can mod a variety of different things. These logs, probably pointless to mod. They're just logs, right? But your player data, your rare items, your options, your player options. You can go ahead and mess with those. We went through the new player options, but these are your current ones you can kind of mess around with if you like. You know, that's nice. The player data. Yes, this is all your player stats, your skills, your medals. Like very fun to mess with stuff here. I modded this earlier. I deleted my skill points. You can do that if you want. Give yourself stats, give yourself skills, give yourself item. Actually, no, you cannot give yourself items here, because that's just your player stats. Items will go in somewhere physical. Like these stations are physical. They have storage. This is your 0-0. That's gonna be your starter station. You can do whatever. There's a variety of things you can mod here. The name, you can rename it whatever you like. I don't know too much about what these are. Something I might get into a little bit. You can take some services away, you know, like maybe you're like, oh, I'm gonna promote one of my fleet members. I'm gonna just turn that off, turn it false. Promote them. Something like that. Or you can add NPCs. Say you're like making a couple NPCs you want to test out, just add them here. You know, these double slashes are very helpful to give you the know on what's going on. You can add market items. So say you want to mess with the items, make everything super expensive, add items that aren't normally there. You can do that. That's fun to mess with. The storage, this is where your items are, you know. This is where you're gonna give yourself items. You can give yourself items here with item ID, quantity. 0 is usually null. That's a placeholder. A lot of times in these codes, these lines of text. Stations, and then ships. Yeah, this is your ship data. You can adjust your ship. You can say, hey, maybe, yeah, my basic escort just has a black hole of space. You don't need to comment there, actually. Yeah, I messed it up, actually, probably. I can equip like 8 things on here, 7 things on here. Adding additional active slots, that'll probably mess up with the game, because they're usually tied to a physical item on the ship. That's your ship part. No, your mod slot parts. So, you know, you could do something janky like copy the mod slots and then just overlap them if you want, and something like that could just kind of have potential to work out. It's kind of like a lazy mod. Then you might try it out. I haven't actually really done this too much. You know, and your basic starter has like 4 guns, ace passes, you can break your ship. But yeah, here's the part where you can add the items, cargo quantity, ID. So I suppose that's gonna look like cargo semicolon quantity, maybe like 100, cargo ID 7, you know, something, you know, whatever ID, whatever ID you want to be there. I suppose you can put it in your ship, straight in your ship cargo. Sure, have it on you. Maybe you're far away from your starter station, you don't want to warp there, you don't want to fly there, whatever the case is. It's kind of how to mess with that. That's kind of fun to play with. Yeah, passive modules. So yeah, now I got like 4 module slots. Yeah, it's kind of a broken starter ship. Sure. We can go in the game and figure out if that all works, but I'll go ahead and not do that. Another thing I like to do when I'm modding, maybe like I'm working on some models or I'm working on some ships. This helps me out a lot. I don't like looking through a huge list of ships to find my own little project I've been working on or coming back to. Just make a new folder. Go ahead and take everything except for your new ship.ship, because you'll need that to create new ships. That's what it reads. That's important information. Turns out you can open that with a notepad file. I have Notepad++. I was recommended that after finding some columns a little bit hard to read on the default Notepad. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah. I've already edited this out, but the ship parts start with a couple of items, and every time I started a project, I was deleting those items. I didn't need them. You can go ahead and edit your ship file, so your new ship just doesn't have those as well. I'll save you maybe a little bit of time when you're working on a new project, perhaps. That's something nice. That's nice to know there. New ship.ship, that's what it reads. So yeah, now we'll go into the Astrox Imperium. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. I like having that sweet and blank, so that I can just focus on the ships. You know, I'm not gonna get too deep into the ship builder here. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and make a new ship. I should have named that something that might mess up, but yeah, we deleted all the parts in the ship.ship, so there's no parts here. I probably should have threw a name on there. There, we'll go ahead and do that. I don't know. I can just delete that. I don't really even need that anyhow. Alright, but yeah, the items database. Like I was talking about, yeah, it looks a little messy. So some of the actually the items don't look too bad, but some of it can be a little bit hard to read. Some of these columns, you're like, you know. But really, the skills is where it gets really rough. To take a look at the default notepad. For the first like about month and a half or so, or about a month, I don't know how long I've been doing it. I was just using default notepad, and I started begging for help on Discord after coming across a couple of these like column issues that I was coming across, because some of these are pretty nasty to look at. I was having a lot of trouble just determining what numbers were tied to what stats, and what stats did what things and stuff like that. And I went ahead and whined about it a little bit, and got a lot of help, a lot of friendly help on the Discord. I really recommend hanging out there. It's a really nice community there, especially if you're just getting the modding kind of like myself. But yeah, they went ahead and recommended me to get they ran ahead and recommended to get Notepad plus. I'm gonna try to talk better. Notepad plus, and that's just free. I downloaded it. I wasn't really particularly super interested in getting Excel. I've never used it. I just should have paid more attention to like those web design classes that I took, but during high school. But I never did that. I was kind of a bad student, so I was kind of overwhelmed with trying to get into Excel and learning a spreadsheet program. But for now, Notepad plus has been working for me just fine, for what I've been doing. So I have been getting a little bit into the custom skills a little bit. That's kind of been a little bit fun for me to get into. I'm adding custom skills. Oh, that looks bad. Yeah, my custom skills here. I'm gonna eventually probably add some custom skill little item logos and stuff. And yeah, modding is a great fun time. I've been having a blast. Eventually, once I get a little bit more into it, I've been touching the surface on the scripting of the game. I want to get a little bit better at this, and perhaps make a scripting tutorial video. That's something that I have plans for in the future. Once I get a little bit better at that, I really enjoy trying to make NPCs. You know, the NPCs. This is kind of fun for me. The modules right here, you can assign the modules, that slots it has with actual module items with the item IDs. That can get a little bit fun to mess with. That's something I want to play a little bit more with, is just having a little bit more NPCs to have as allies, NPCs to have bad guys. But yeah.